Welcome back to my channel Database SQL. So in today's video, right, I just thought of, there's a lot of data analyst jobs are there, and then a lot of people, aspirants are there to become a data analyst, right? And I have seen that, people who don't have the degree, the right degree, like bachelor's degree in engineering or master's in science, computer science, engineering, also getting the job, right? I mean, it's just that you need to know certain concepts, right? I mean, you need to basically, there are certifications out there which you can do, such as professional certificate, right? Google Analytics professional certificate. But other than that, there is another way that you can improve your resume or make an impression on your resume is basically creating a project, right? I mean, you can create a project, put it in your resume, right? And put it in a GitHub or put it in like Kaggle, if you're about Kaggle website where you can upload your project. So one of the key element of becoming a data analyst is SQL, right? I mean, as you know, you need to know SQL queries, you need to know how to retrieve the data, how to cleanse the data, right? How to write queries, at least basic to intermediate queries, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create basically with this video, right? I'm going to create a new playlist for data analyst project, right? I mean, and we are going to take one project and we are going to start from scratch. Okay, so starting from scratch, as in, we're going to create table, we're going to create tables, we're going to insert the data into tables, then we will come out with interview questions that can be asked, and we can categorize that interview questions into basic, intermediate, and advanced questions. So that way you get an exposure of starting from scratch. You can put it in the project as well, that you created this project for this system. You inserted the data, then you wrote a queries, you solved this real life or business case scenarios, right? That can come up. So what we are going to do is today, so I'm going to break this videos, right, into series, right? Because if I create the video with all this together, then it's going to be long video. What I'll do is probably in the end, right? I mean, I'll combine everything into one video also, in case you want to look at one video. But for now, we're going to separate this into different videos. Right. So the project that we're going to create is based on the restaurant management system. Okay. So I'm taking the restaurant management system because it's easy to understand, right? I mean, most of us, right, we go to restaurant, right? I mean, once in a week, some people twice in a week, somebody like me going maybe thrice in a week. I like eating out. So but depends, right? I mean, some people go once in a month. It really depends upon everybody's choices, but everybody is aware about the restaurant data, right? I mean, how the restaurant will function. It's very easy to understand. It's very easy to explain also, right, to somebody. So if you were to explain this project to somebody in interview, right, then it will be easy for you to explain it, because it's a restaurant data. Everybody is aware about restaurant data, right? There are customers associated with that. There's a menu of a restaurant. There are reservations, and then there are orders, right? I mean, a pretty simple, straightforward system, right? So that's why I thought of taking this system. If you feel like there is some other system that I can cover, please put it in the comments, because I mean, I'm open to suggestions, right? I can make videos on financials, I can make videos on retail, I can make videos on airline, I can make videos on grocery chains. I have experience in a lot of industries, right? Working as an engineer, right? I mean, so working with a lot of data, right? So I mean, I'm comfortable with all the data set, right? But I thought somebody like beginner, right? I mean, the restaurant will management system will make sense, right? So what you need to do, one thing I have already done is basically I've created a schema. But what you need to do is, if you go to Postgres, right, then you right click and you say create schema. Okay, you can just give a name, right? That restaurant management system, right? And then just save. Okay, what that's going to do is that's going to create a schema. Okay, it's going to create a restaurant management system schema. Then if you expand it further, right, then there's a tables. Okay, so right now, as you see, there are no tables, right? Because we have not created any tables, right? I wanted to create it in front of you guys, right? That's why, I did not create the table. Okay. So let's go ahead and create so for this video, right? Let's create the tables and let's insert the data into that table. Okay. In those tables. Okay. I have the scripts ready. So what I'll do is I'll probably, keep the scripts in the description section also, so that you can just copy paste the script and, you can just put it in the run it in the Postgres and you will be good to go. Just one thing that definitely just create the schema like I showed here, right? Right click, create schema, and then create this schema before you create this table, right? Because you have to create this table into within a schema, and I created a separate schema, restaurant management system, because our projects, our table, everything will reside under this, right? I mean, so that's why I thought of creating a clean starting from scratch schema, so that we can easily refer to the tables available in this schema. Okay, so the first table that's going to be there is customers table. Okay, so customers table is basically nothing but customer ID, first name, last name, email, and phone, right? Pretty straightforward customer information. The second table is menus table, where you have menu ID, right? And if you see, I'm putting a primary key because there's primary key for that table, and some of them are foreign key, right? So for example, customer ID references customer ID of this customer table. Why? Because we want to maintain an integrity, right, between the tables, right? We just don't want to create a data without a referential integrity. So what does that mean? What that means that for the customer ID to be present in this table, it has to be present in this table because customer is a primary table, right? You can't have customer 1 to 20 here and then you enter 21 here, because it's not going to make sense, right? Because see, does it going to make sense? It's not going to make sense, right? I mean, you have a reservation, your customer, and then you don't have a customer information in main table, right? That's why we have foreign key. Okay, menus is for category, item name, price. Okay, obviously price for that item, right? We'll look at that in the insert table script. Okay, then you have reservations table. Okay, so reservation tables basically is reservation ID, customer ID, customer who have made a reservation, and reservation date, and party size, right? Okay, and then orders is basically order ID, customer ID, menu ID, right? Which customer order which menu item, and what was the order ID, right? And then order ID, order date, what date, and how much of quantity of that particular menu ID is being ordered, right? In that order, correct? Right here again, it is referring to customer ID, menu ID, because menu ID should be there in a menu table, right? Otherwise, you are not linking really the data, right? So that's why. So basically, menu ID will be foreign key to this menu table. Okay, primary key of this menu table, right? Straightforward, correct? So let's just create the tables. Just click on this. Okay, and then just execute. The table is created successfully. Okay, let's create menu table, and you have to create this table in the series I am telling, because otherwise it cannot search the foreign keys on the main table. Okay, type date time is not existing. Okay, then we need to put date, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, so orders tables, right? So all the tables are created in the. So now we should also verify, right? I'm just going to verify one of the tables to make sure that it's created. Okay, there is nothing, right? No data in the table, right? Okay, so we have the tables. Okay, now let's go and do the insert table scripts. Again, I'm going to put all this in the comment section, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so what we're going to take is we are going to take 21 customers. Okay, and then insert their data. Okay, 21 rows, right? Let's just verify. Okay, you have 21 rows. Okay, after that, let's just insert in the menu table. Okay, again, we'll come and verify it later. Okay, because let's just do it. It's menus. Okay, okay, 21 again. So if you see, category is appetizer, item name is garlic bread, main course chicken alfredo, dessert chocolate cake, appetizer caprese salad, main course grilled salmon, right? Dessert cheesecake, right? Now we are coming to reservations table. Okay, most probably we'll get an error here because if you remember, we had to change the date time here, right? See, by executing this script, right, you get a knowledge of what basically data type and all. Oh, it inserted. Basically, so looks like in Postgres, date time is not a function. Instead, date is the not a function. Date is the column. I thought it's going to give an error, but looks like it's good. So that's good. So if you're going to do reservations, see reservations, right? So if you look at the reservation data, right? Uh, So basically it has reservation ID and then it refers to the customer ID, right? Here for simplicity, we just map it one to one, right? I mean, one reservation ID one can belong to customer three also, okay? It's obviously possible, right? So, for simplicity, we just kept it a reservation date and then party size. Party size means number of people, okay? Number of people in that party that basically they are throwing the party, right? So in that case, one reservation party size is four, right? Or family of four, right? And then finally the orders data, right? So here, see again 21 rows executed. We see the orders data. Again, it is order ID, right? And then customer, it refers to customer ID, refers to the menu ID, the order date, and a quantity, okay? And quantity, right? So in quantity, basically, right? So how many quantities are ordered, right? In that order, how many quantities are there, right? Of a menu ID, of a particular menu ID, correct? So, uh, that, so from the menu item, right? How many quantities of appetizer are ordered? How many quantities of dessert are ordered, right? Like that, okay? So let's just look at the orders table also. Okay, so you have the data. Okay, so now we got 21 rows for each of the tables, right? And I'm going with a smaller data set because then it's easy for you to understand, right? But feel free to insert as many data as you want, right? I mean, here there are 21 rows. You can just copy paste this and then say number 22, like Adam, right? Then Adam Garcia, right? Adam.garcia@gmail.com and a dummy number, right? I mean, you can create as many rows as you want, it's pretty, you can just take this into Excel and then just drag it and then just change the names, right? I mean, you can put 100 rows, 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows, more the data, more the scenario you can replicate. Okay. I mean, just remember that because more of the variance of data, more of the scenario you can write and more of the results, you can look at. Okay. I mean, there are some ways that I think Python script also you can write to generate a random data. Okay. That also you can do. Uh, Let me know if you want me to create, make a video on Python. Okay, I can make a video on Python to generate the dummy data. Just let me know in the comments. Okay. So here we are basically. So what we did, we created a schema, restaurant management system. Within that, we created the create table script. Within that, we created the insert table script, right? So now next step will be to come out with the interview questions, right? What kind of questions, interview questions can be asked, as well as what kind of scenario you can show it in the project, right? I mean, this is the scenario, such as, how many customers have ordered the menu item dessert, correct? Just one question, right? A real life scenario, right? Obviously the person managing the restaurant management system would like to know that, how many customers ordered dessert, right? I mean, that way, and in which date, so they can see that the desserts are selling more within that dessert. What is the dessert that is ordered, right? And which desserts are selling more, right? I mean, within the dessert you have fruit tart, you have tiramisu, right? So many things are there, right? Lemon sorbet. So which one is selling more, right? Then I'll keep that menu item more, right? I mean, I'll make sure that I'm not out of stock, right? Or maybe there is a possibility to a price increase, right? Because it's selling more, people are liking it, people will pay $1 more for it, correct? So things like that. These are the real life scenarios, right? So basically, that's what data analysts do, right? They look at the data, they look at the data, then they do the trend, and then they present it to leadership, saying that, oh, this is what I feel, and this is the way we can grow our business, right? That's the purpose of data analyst job. Just think in that lens, okay? So these two scripts, I'll put it in the comment section, and I think it's going to help you a lot, right? I mean, to start with creating the scripts and get the data ready. And next video, we'll look at the SQL interview question and scenario question, okay? And then I'll try and put it multiple videos, right? I mean, so that we can cover the questions in multiple videos, okay? All right. I hope this was very helpful to you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.